Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I am George and I am a Gen X grown up. Now, before we get started with the videos and all the articles that we're going to talk about here on Bit by Bit, I just wanted to take a brief moment to say thank you so much for your comments on the last Bit by Bit video. All the positive feedback on this new format made me decide to keep going with it. So here we are. Today, we're first going to talk about some Atari news, and then I'm going to jump into a whole bunch of hardware retro gaming news. But I wanted to start with the Atari one because this literally just hit the presses right as I was starting to record this, so I stopped everything, restarted the recording, so let's get into it. Like I said, this first bit is on My Nintendo News, and it's all about Atari having purchased 5 IPs from Ubisoft. Or Ubisoft, how do you pronounce it? You know, that's just going to be a running theme of these videos from now on. I can't pronounce anything properly, and I'm not even going to try. So, Atari has recently grabbed 5 IPs from Ubisoft, whatever, and here they are listed. Cold Fear, I Am Alive, Child of Eden, Grow Home, and Grow Up. Now, I don't consider these retro games because, I mean, the oldest one is 2005. So to me, that feels like it was just yesterday. I know it was 20 years ago, but I don't consider that retro gaming unless it's like at least in the mid 90s or so. But anyway, this is news and it shows Atari's still legitimate presence in the gaming world. Some people have made some comments on some of our videos that we do about Atari that maybe Atari is just out there for a money grab and all like this. I think this shows that they are solidifying their brand. They are bringing in IPs to their systems and onto their platforms at all times that can have new things done with them, re-releases, remasterings, reimaginings. They can do stuff with Night Dive Studios. They can do stuff with all these other companies that they have under their belt. I, for one, am excited. Like I said, I don't know anything about these games at all, but now that Atari owns them, I'm sure as hell going to find out. Okay, this one from MSN.com kind of cuts two ways. I don't like promoting MSN.com. I just don't like their system. They seem to take a lot of articles from other people's websites and post it on their own, and because they're MSN, that becomes the de facto source. But in this case, I didn't really have a choice. It looks to me like they've got some ads up here and everything, but this just looks like it was written by somebody on their platform. Anyway, an original Amiga prototype showed up at VCF West 2025 recently, and I just had to talk about it because I love Amiga so much, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it later on, but look at this prototype. This is one of the original designs, and they took this back to CES in 1994 in Chicago, of all things, when they were first trying to find a company to help manufacture this system and bring it to market. And of course, Commodore ended up getting the product and putting it on their platform. We all know the success story from that point forward, but I mean, just look at all these boards and everything. This was before they even had the 3 main chips of Amiga, so that's why they had to have all this stuff out here on the sides and everything. Man, I really wish I could have seen that. There is a cool YouTube video here of a Q&A session of some of the team that worked on the the Amiga stuff. I'm still back in the Atari one from just a second ago. But yeah, this is really cool. I really love Amiga. I wish I could have been at VCF West. I don't even know where that is, but damn it, I'm going to find out, and maybe next year I'm going to show up, because any convention that has retro computers on display like this, that's something I definitely want to attend. All right, here's another hardware bit from TimeExtension.com. This is the company behind Evercade, Blaze, which has another sub-company called Hyper Megatech, and this is their new offering. They're keyring-sized arcade systems for Asteroid, Centipede, Space Invaders, and Burger Time for $30. Now, John first showed this article to me and wanted me to go get in touch with him, so I have reached out to Blaze Entertainment to see if we can't get some of these for review here on the channel. But I mean, these are really cool. Super Micro Asteroids, look at it. It's got Asteroids Gravatar and Yar's Revenge. Centipede has Centipede, Millipede, and Crystal Castles. We've got the Space Invaders edition, which just has itself. It's kind of odd. I would have thought we would have maybe gotten a Galaxian or a Galaga along with that. And then Burger Time has Burger Time, Karate Champ, and Side Pocket. So some very cool offerings coming up here, and I don't know if we have a release date yet. Let's see. October of 2025, so just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. That means they probably ought to got them through QA and got them in the warehouse somewhere. Boy, I can't wait to get my hands on some of these. All right, from notebookcheck.com, it looks like LEGO may be releasing a new Sega controller based on the Genesis system, and this looks like it's going to be a free gift for anybody who spends over 130 euros. That's around 151 US dollars at this time, I believe. Should be available September 8th. Now, my guess is you're going to have to go to the LEGO website and buy it from there so that you get prompted to add this to your order as a free gift. But still, this looks really cool. There's even some stuff that they're going to have, like an interior. Yeah, here it is. A worthy showpiece retro consoles fans furtherly suggests the front panel of the controller can be opened up to reveal a miniature recreation of Sonic the Hedgehog's iconic Green Hill Zone. So again, just like the Atari 2600 opened up and you saw all that stuff inside there, and other systems that LEGO has produced, it looks like they're thinking really deep. Here's a better image of the box art that has been released on Instagram by ITA Vix Bricks. So if you want to go check it out, you can start there, or you can start here on notebookcheck.com. Again, I'll always have the links to all of these articles down in the description of the video, so you can go check it out for yourself. But I'm pretty excited. I think I might have some LEGO stuff that I need to be buying in my near future. Okay, here's just a quick little news update bit from tomshardware.com. The Commodore system, the new C64 Ultimate, raked in $2 million in its first week of sales for pre-order. This is the new company that's headed up by Christian Simpson from Perifractric, who is Retro something or other. I forget the name of his channel. Anyway, it's down here. Right here's a link to the video that talks a little bit more about this. They also have a chart right here that shows the sales that is in the video. Very cool. He says he wants to make sure that Commodore doesn't go the way that it did back in the 90s with the bankruptcy. His whole job, he said, is making sure Commodore isn't a bankrupt Commodore. I really like that. I think this guy is going to do some amazing things with this brand and IP. I know some people are a little skeptical. I'm not one of them. He's bringing on the right people to help him with this project. He's bringing in a lot of good employees. I think he's got a good plan in place. Retro Recipes, that's the name of his YouTube channel. I don't know why I forgot that. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of other screenshots. Look at this. Here's like some stuff on the C64 Ultimate. Keyboard lighting, data stream. Wow, that's got a lot of configuration options. That's pretty cool. There's a whole bunch more images there you can look through. You know what? Let's see. Can we look through them now? Oh, ooh, okay. Oh, there's only 2 images. I thought it said 1 of 12, but it's 1 of 2. Okay, that's interesting. Don't know what that... I've got to go watch that video. Now, here's a section here all about Amiga stuff, and I'm a little bit confused because when I talked about this brand, Commodore, in a previous bit-by-bit video, somebody mentioned that... Amiga is not owned by Commodore. They were very adamant about that, and I wasn't sure. But this makes it seem as though Amiga is. So I'm hoping you guys will tell me down in the comments below whether or not you have proof that it's not owned or who owns it, because nobody really gave me that. They just said Amiga is not owned by Commodore. I'm like, okay, I apologize for the mistake. But this really seems like maybe they have a stake in Amiga. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, the final couple of articles here are all about Valve apparently releasing a new Steam console. Now, they tried this a number of years ago. This is probably just like some AI-generated kind of stuff. I don't know that this to be real. Or maybe this is one of the old systems that they released a long time ago. The one thing that they're talking about here is that this system looks like it's less powerful than a Steam Deck. It only has 8 gigs of DDR5 RAM. A Steam Deck, I think, comes standard with 16, it talks about down here. So then there's, a little bit more. Haven't we already done this before? Yeah, they did it, and it didn't really have any success, so they stopped doing it. And then we got the Steam Deck like a couple of years ago, and that's been very successful. They're talking about that it's running on a Windows 11 Pro, and this all comes from an article on Insider Gaming. Now, you can see right here, this article came to me on August 26th, which is how I found it, but the article from Insider Gaming rather, came out on August 20th. So it looks like a reposting of a previous article that another website did. And this happens all the time in my feed. I get one article that leads to 2 or 3 others. Anyway, this system is apparently going under the name the Valve Fremont. So, it'll be interesting to see if this really is a true thing. They've got a screenshot of some of the system information and CPU information right here. A couple more details in this article. Again, I'll have links to both in the description of this video. And that's going to wrap it up for another Bit by Bit. I hope you enjoyed it. This might run a little bit longer than my normal video. I'm still getting used to this new format, so please bear with me as we figure this out together. I really appreciate your time today. Do not forget to hit subscribe and share this video out as much as you can. It really, really helps the channel. We appreciate you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.